Hello everyone, I am Rashmi, your host for this episode. So last weekend I just happened to open my bookshelf and the book that instantly caught my attention was How to Stop Worrying and Start Living by Dale Carnegie. Now for quite some time I've been wanting to read this book, but I thought to myself, whether would it make any difference to my thoughts or to my worries after reading this book? Let me just give it a try. So I read the first chapter, and the first chapter itself felt so magical that at the very instant I decided that this would be my next episode on podcast. And here I am sharing my journey with all of you while reading this book. I'm sure most of you must have already read this book probably, but wouldn't it be beautiful to go through this journey once more? So welcome on board once again, and I hope you enjoy this journey with me. Sir William Osler, one of the most renowned physicians of the world, who organized the Johns Hopkins School of Medicine. There was a time in his life where he worried about what to do, where to go, and how to start making a living. All these thoughts led him to a lot of anxiety and mental stress, until he read something which changed his life completely and made him live a life free from worry. I'll just like to read out these 21 beautiful words that changed his life. Our main business is not to see what lies dimly at a distance, but do what lies clearly at hand. And then years later, he went on to address some students of University of Yale, where he gave them some magical formulae to stop worrying and start living. One of the beautiful concepts that he gave them was day-tight compartments. Now in any ship, the captain of the ship could just press one button, and with the clanging of machinery, various parts of the ship are immediately shut off from one another, shut off into watertight compartments. He related this to our lives. Our lives are full of these kind of compartments. We try to jumble up and mix up everything in today. But we can make our life much beautiful by using the concept of day-tight compartments. Just touch one button and shut off the dead yesterdays or the past from your life. And touch another button and shut off the anxious future, the unborn tomorrows. And if we do that, we can be safe in our own present in our day-tight compartments. Because today is the day of salvation, and we need to start living in the moment. This concept, I found it really beautiful and could relate to it, because if we start doing that, life would be so much easier, right? So does this mean that we should not make any effort or prepare for tomorrow? No, not at all. Dr. Osler did go on to say that the best possible way for preparing for tomorrow is to concentrate with all your intelligence and all your enthusiasm and doing today's work superbly. In short, live your life in the present, and then your future is also going to be beautiful. By all means, make thought for tomorrow, careful thought and planning and preparation, but don't have any anxiety. Whether in war or peace, the chief difference between good or bad thinking is that good thinking deals with causes and effects and leads to logical and constructive planning, whereas bad thinking always leads to a lot of tensions, mental stress, and then nervous breakdowns. Mostly, we are all boggled down by many thoughts at the start of the day as to what to do, how to do, where to start, and where we are going to end. So many tasks in our mind, whether we'll be able to finish all of them. Dale Carnegie gave a beautiful example for this thought that comes to our mind every day, lot of jumbled up thoughts. He gave the example of an hourglass. Thousands of grains of sand pass through an hourglass from the top to the bottom. But at the middle, there's only one grain of sand which can pass. And nothing which I or you could do would make more than one grain of sand pass through the middle unless we break the hourglass. And our lives are like these hourglasses. There are so many thoughts in our mind, so many tasks to be accomplished during the day. But if we don't take it one at a time, one task at a time, and let them pass through the day slowly and evenly, like the grains of sand passing through the narrow neck at the middle, then we are all bound to break our own physical or mental structure. So let us take it one task at a time, just like one grain at a time, which can save us from a lot of anxiety. By using this philosophy, one can actually do their work in an efficient manner without the confused and jumbled feeling. Every day should be like a new life. Learn to forget the yesterdays and do not think of the tomorrows. And each morning say to yourself, today is a new life. This can bring about so much of enthusiasm and love for life. We are all dreaming of some kind of magical rose garden over the horizon, instead of just enjoying the roses that are blooming inside our windows today. The child says, when will I grow up? The big boy says, when will I get married? The married guy says, when will I have children? The family man says, when will I retire? And finally, when the retirement does come in, how much have we missed out in life and getting entangled in all these thoughts? Life is in the living, in the tissue of every day and every hour. We are racing through the space at the rate of 19 miles every second. So let us all live in the present, in the today, because today is our most precious possession. It is our actual only sure possession. So shut off the iron doors of the past and future and live in daytime compartments and make the most of life and live it beautifully. I found these concepts really beautiful, given to us as a gift by Dale Carnegie. And I hope you all also enjoyed this episode of mine. I'll be coming up with some more episodes on this book. So thank you so much for tuning in. Take care and see you soon. Bye-bye.